I would just want to briefly talk about certain things. You see, I used to argue with my professors on the topic why investment has not moved to developing countries, despite the fact that they have robust of high returns on investment compared with the developed countries around the world. And one of the arguments against this thing, that supports this argument why investments do not move towards the developing countries, is because the property right is weak. There are no property right. There are very weak institutions, and that is why rational investors do not want to invest in those kind of economies. And I will give you a very practical instance that supports this argument. And this is my illustration now. You see, 5 years ago, I thought of investing in Nigeria, real estate. Then I got a loan. I applied for a loan, and I put the whole of the loan into the real estate. I have no problem with real estate, and there and then I chose the real estate company that I wanted to invest with, and that was Gtext Holdings. At that time, it was Stephen Akintayo all over the internet making Facebook posts, time to time advertising his real estate businesses. And I felt a little bit convinced that he was the right person. So I bought two properties, one in Lagos and one in Ibadan. While I was servicing the loan back to the bank, I was supposed to pay this loan within 3 years, and hoping that at the end of that loan, then I will have 2 plots of land to my name. At least I can decide to hold it or do something with it. But shockingly, you will not believe that after I paid this money outrightly with the documentations, they charged me separately for documentations. I am yet to see this land physically. After almost 5 years, I am yet to see the land physically. And as if that is not enough, they started though they sent me my documents, deed of assignment, and the survey plan, but the land only up to now have existed on paper. I am yet to see a physical allocation. And after 2 years, after 2 years, I began to demand for physical allocation of this property. And they started saying today, tomorrow, the access road is not good. This is not good. Today, tomorrow. Then I gave up. Only to discover shockingly, after another year, which makes 3 years now, that one of the land does not actually exist. I think it has a legal litigation on it. But interestingly, this company, Gtext Holdings, owned by Stephen Akintayo, popular Stephen Akintayo, didn't reach out to me to tell me that the land has a litigation, or whether or not they need to refund my money back, or maybe reallocation. Instead of that, they started demanding developmental fee that were not part of the agreement. We didn't agree on developmental fee because by my understanding, I paid outrightly, and I believe developmental fee would have been included in the amount because it was never part of the discussion. You understand? But interestingly, despite the fact that this land has a litigation, as they claim, that means it doesn't exist, they were still charging me for developmental fee. I have the emails. They were still charging me for developmental fee. Then one thought came to my mind, are they charging developmental fee on a land that does not exist? What happens to honesty? Okay, what happens to honesty? Why are they not coming out to their client to tell them that this land has issue? And to crown it all, they resized my property downward from 600 square meters to 400 square meters, single-handedly, without my consent. Because by my understanding, if you are in a contract such as a sale of land and you have bought it, if there is anything that will happen to that land, the two parties must come together and agree and sign an addendum to show that, okay, this is the agreement, this is what happened. One party to a contract shouldn't unilaterally reduce that land size from a side, from 600 square meters to 400 square meters. So these are shocking. Why I'm saying this? Because these are shocking reason why the developing countries, and most especially Nigeria, considering the sheer size of its population, would continue to experience shortage in capital flow. Interestingly, foreign investors do not want to come to invest in Nigeria. The chunk of investment in Nigeria is driven by people in diaspora, because these are people that still have affiliation to their home country. So they repatriate a chunk of capital to invest in that economy. Not because they trust the institution, but because that is their origin. So they feel that no matter how many years they spend outside the country, they still have to come back to their home country after a certain number of years to retire. And this is why they have affiliation. So when they make money abroad, they still want the chunk of the money to be saved and reinvest and to be invested in their home country. But now, the institutions are weak. And these people who are saying they are realtors in that business, they take advantage of the very weak institutions to defraud people. They take advantage of the weak institution to exploit people, because they know at the end of the day, you will go to work. The institutions are probably weak. The EFCC is not doing anything. So they know this and they leverage on it. So now my illustration is just trying to open our eyes to see that Nigeria will still be the way they are. Now, diasporans are waking up, and many of them are trying to, so there's going to be a paradigm shift, to invest in other things, maybe securities, maybe debt, government debt or corporate debt, or they will choose to make the best of their investment, because the Nigeria system is so corrupt. And the rich people, quote and unquote, the rich people, they leverage on that corruption, that shared corruption, to defraud people, average people who are working tirelessly to make their money. You understand? I live abroad for the majority part of my year, and I know what it takes to wake up in the morning, to go to work, and to come back. There's no free money abroad. So when somebody invests his money, save money, and invest the money, and somebody sits somewhere to take advantage of that person, it is the height of dishonesty I've ever seen. So this is what I said I should share with you. You can share the message, share this video. It's going to be a short video, and I'm not really, I'm not really used to making this kind of video. But again, this video is just an eye opener, and probably you will find one or two lessons to learn from this video. Cheers. Bye.